Seniors. If your kids say any of these 7 phrases, walk away immediately. If you're over 60 and your adult children have said any of these phrases to you, you need to hear this immediately. Studies show that 1 in 6 seniors experience emotional abuse from their own family members, and it often starts with seemingly innocent words that are actually designed to control and manipulate you. These toxic phrases can destroy your self-worth, isolate you from support, and trap you in cycles of guilt and fear. But here's what most seniors don't realize. Recognizing these manipulative tactics is the first step to protecting yourself. This video could save your dignity and peace of mind. Welcome to Life Advice for Older People. I'm here because I understand the complex and sometimes painful dynamics between seniors and their adult children. If you've ever felt dismissed, controlled, or manipulated by your own kids, you're not alone, and it's not your fault. Today I'll reveal the 7 phrases that are actually manipulation tactics disguised as concern or love. I'll show you the psychology behind why adult children use these words and give you the exact responses that will protect your emotional well-being and restore your power. Have you heard any of these phrases before? You're definitely not alone. Thousands of seniors deal with this daily. If this resonates with you, please hit that subscribe button, because I'm dedicated to helping seniors recognize their worth and demand the respect they deserve. And stick around, because phrase number 3 is going to shock you. It's the most damaging one I've encountered. 1. You're too old to understand. The first toxic phrase that should make you walk away immediately is, "You're too old to understand." This seemingly simple statement is actually a devastating form of ageism designed to silence your voice and invalidate your decades of life experience. Let me paint you a picture. Imagine you're discussing your concerns about a grandchild's behavior, and your adult child cuts you off with, "Mum, you're too old to understand how kids work today." Or perhaps you're questioning a financial decision they want to make on your behalf, and they dismiss you with, "Dad, you don't get modern banking. You're from a different generation." Here's what's really happening psychologically. Your adult child is using your age as a weapon to shut down conversation and assume control. They're implying that your wisdom, gained through decades of living, working, and raising them successfully, is now somehow worthless because of your birth year. This is manipulation, pure and simple. The emotional impact is devastating. When someone you love and raised tells you that your age makes you incompetent, it attacks your core identity. You begin to second-guess yourself, withdraw from conversations, and lose confidence in your own judgment. This is exactly what manipulative adult children want: a parent who stops questioning their decisions and defers to their superior understanding. But here's the truth they don't want you to know. Age brings wisdom, perspective, and emotional intelligence that younger people often lack. Your life experience is valuable, not obsolete. You've navigated challenges, raised families, built careers, and survived decades of change. That doesn't make you outdated, it makes you wise. Here are 3 powerful responses you can use. First, "My age gives me perspective you haven't earned yet." Second, "I successfully raised you, which proves my understanding works just fine." And third, "If age disqualifies my opinion, then youth disqualifies yours." These responses restore your authority and shut down the ageist attack. Has anyone ever made you feel too old to have an opinion? Share your story in the comments below. You'll be amazed how many others have faced this same manipulation. And wait until you hear phrase number 2. It's all about stealing your right to make your own decisions. The second toxic phrase that demands you walk away is, "We know what's best for you." This statement sounds caring on the surface, but it's actually a power grab disguised as concern. It's your adult children positioning themselves as the parent and you as the incompetent child who can't make proper decisions. Picture this scenario. You're perfectly happy living in your own home, managing your finances and maintaining your independence. But your adult children start pressuring you to sell your house and move into assisted living for your own good. When you resist, they hit you with, "Mom, we know what's best for you. You can't see the situation clearly, but we can." Or maybe you want to spend your savings on a cruise you've dreamed about for years, and they say, "Dad, we know what's best for your money. You shouldn't be making big financial decisions at your age." Here's the psychological manipulation at work. They're claiming superior knowledge about your own life, needs and desires. They're positioning your preferences as wrong or dangerous, while their preferences for your life are presented as objective truth. This is classic control behavior. They want to make decisions for you while making you feel like it's for your benefit. The difference between genuine concern and manipulation is crucial. Genuine concern sounds like, "I'm worried about you living alone. Can we discuss some safety options that would give us both peace of mind while keeping you independent?" Manipulation sounds like, "You can't live alone anymore. We've decided you're moving to Sunset Manor, and that's final." Legally and emotionally, this phrase is dangerous because it can lead to seniors losing their autonomy entirely. Once you accept that others know better, you're on a path to having major life decisions made without your input. Your home, your money, your healthcare, your daily routine, all controlled by people who claim to know what's best. The truth is, no one knows what's best for you except you. You're the expert on your own needs, preferences, comfort level, and quality of life. Your adult children may have concerns, and that's valid, but those concerns don't give them the right to override your choices. Here's how to maintain independence while accepting appropriate help. Set clear boundaries about what input you welcome and what decisions remain yours alone. Say things like, "I appreciate your concern, but this is my decision to make. If you have specific safety suggestions, I'm happy to hear them, but the final choice is mine." What decisions have others tried to make for you without your permission? Leave a comment and let others know they're not alone in this struggle. Coming up next is phrase number 3. And I have to warn you, this one is going to shock you because it's the cruelest form of emotional blackmail. Here it is. The phrase that shocked me the most when I first heard how widespread it was. "After everything we've done for you," is pure emotional blackmail, and it's one of the cruelest weapons adult children use against their parents. This phrase weaponizes your love, your sacrifices, and your parental devotion against you. Let me show you how this manipulation works in real life. You've decided you don't want to babysit your grandchildren every weekend because you want some time for yourself. Your adult child responds with, "After everything you've done for us, you won't help with your own grandchildren? We sacrificed so much to take care of you when you were sick." Or perhaps you've chosen to spend the holidays with friends instead of hosting the entire family, and you hear, "After everything we've done for you over the years, you're abandoning your family for strangers." This is emotional blackmail at its most sophisticated. They're taking every act of love, every sacrifice, every moment of care they provided, and turning it into a debt that you can never fully repay. They're saying that because they've done things for you in the past, you've lost the right to make independent choices in the present. Here's the psychological trap. As parents, we naturally feel grateful when our adult children show us love and care. But manipulative children exploit this gratitude by turning it into obligation. They make you feel that every no, every boundary, every independent choice is somehow ungrateful and selfish. The toxic cycle this creates is devastating. You start making decisions based not on what's right for you, but on what will avoid triggering their guilt trips. You sacrifice your comfort, your preferences, your boundaries, all to avoid being labeled as ungrateful. Eventually you lose touch with what you actually want because you're so focused on not disappointing them. But here's what they don't want you to realize. Love and care should never come with strings attached. When someone truly loves you, they don't keep a running tally of their good deeds to use against you later. Healthy relationships involve mutual support without scorekeeping or emotional manipulation. You have the right to boundaries regardless of past kindnesses. Your adult children's care for you doesn't purchase your future compliance. You can be grateful for their support while still maintaining your independence and making your own choices. Here are specific scripts for responding. "I'm grateful for your support, but that doesn't mean I lose my right to make my own decisions." Or, "Your past kindness doesn't obligate me to say yes to everything now." Or simply, "Love shouldn't come with conditions." Most importantly, give yourself permission to have boundaries without guilt. You spent decades putting their needs first while raising them. You've earned the right to prioritize your own well-being now. Have you been made to feel guilty for having your own preferences and boundaries? Share your experience in the comments. You'll help other seniors realize they're not selfish for wanting independence. Next up is phrase number 4, and it's designed to make you question your own reality. The fourth toxic phrase that should send you walking is "you're being dramatic" or "you're overreacting." This is a gaslighting technique designed to invalidate your emotions and make you question your own reality. It's particularly damaging because it attacks your right to have feelings and express concerns. Here's how this manipulation typically unfolds. Your adult child promises to visit for your birthday but cancels at the last minute for the 3rd year in a row. When you express hurt and disappointment, they respond with, "Mom, you're being so dramatic." It's just a birthday. You're overreacting. Or maybe you're concerned about how they're speaking to you in front of others, and when you bring it up, they say, "Dad, you're making a big deal out of nothing. You're being way too sensitive." This is gaslighting, a psychological manipulation tactic where someone makes you question your own perceptions, emotions, and reactions. They're not just dismissing your feelings, they're telling you that your feelings are wrong, excessive, or inappropriate. Over time, this erodes your self-trust and confidence in your own emotional responses. The insidious part is that it makes you start second-guessing yourself. You begin to think, maybe I'm being too sensitive. Maybe my hurt feelings aren't justified. Maybe I should just accept this behavior and stop complaining. This is exactly what the manipulator wants, for you to silence yourself and accept poor treatment. But here's the truth, your feelings are valid regardless of your age. If something hurts you, disappoints you, or concerns you, those emotions are real and legitimate. You don't need anyone's permission to feel what you feel, and you don't need to justify your emotional responses to anyone. There's an important difference between valid emotional responses and actual overreacting. A valid response is proportionate to the situation and comes from a place of genuine hurt or concern. Overreacting involves responses that are wildly disproportionate to the trigger. But here's the key. Even if you occasionally do overreact, that doesn't invalidate all your future emotions or give others the right to dismiss your feelings wholesale. The damage this phrase causes is profound. It teaches you to suppress your emotions, doubt your instincts, and accept treatment that makes you uncomfortable. You start walking on eggshells, afraid to express any negative emotions because you've been conditioned to believe that your feelings are wrong or excessive. Your emotions matter. Your decades of life experience have taught you to recognize when something feels wrong, and that intuition is valuable. Don't let anyone convince you that your feelings are invalid because of your age or their convenience. Here's how to trust your instincts. When someone tells you you're overreacting, pause and ask yourself, how did this situation make me feel? And is that feeling reasonable given what happened? Trust your gut. If something feels hurtful or wrong, it probably is. Respond with phrases like, "My feelings are valid even if you don't understand them," or "I'm not overreacting. I'm having a normal response to hurtful behavior," or simply, "My emotions don't need your approval." Have your feelings been dismissed as dramatic when you were simply expressing legitimate concerns? Tell us in the comments. Your story might help someone else realize their emotions are valid too. Coming up next is phrase number 5, and this one is designed to isolate you from everyone who cares about you. The 5th toxic phrase is particularly cruel. No one else will put up with you. This is an isolation tactic designed to make you feel dependent, trapped, and grateful for whatever scraps of attention they give you. It's psychological warfare aimed at destroying your self-worth and social confidence. Here's how this manipulation typically plays out. Maybe you've mentioned wanting to join a senior centre or make new friends, and your adult child says, "Mom, let's be realistic. You're difficult to be around. No one else is going to put up with your complaints and your needs like we do." Or perhaps you've had a disagreement with them, and they retaliate with, "Dad, you're lucky we still talk to you. No one else would tolerate your stubbornness and your attitude." This phrase is designed to make you believe that you're so fundamentally flawed, difficult, or burdensome that your own children are the only people in the world who could possibly love or tolerate you. It's meant to convince you that you should be grateful for any attention, even if it comes with disrespect, control, or abuse. The psychological damage is severe. When someone you love tells you that you're essentially unlikable to everyone else, It destroys your confidence in forming new relationships. You start believing that you're too difficult, too needy, or too set in your ways to connect with others. This leads to social withdrawal and increased dependence on the very people who are mistreating you. But here's what they don't want you to know. This is absolutely false. Seniors are valued, loved, and welcomed by countless people every single day. Senior centres are full of people who enjoy each other's company. Volunteer organisations treasure the wisdom and experience that older adults bring. Churches, community groups, hobby clubs and neighbourhood associations are filled with people who would appreciate your friendship. The truth is that toxic adult children use this lie because they want to maintain control over you. If you believe that no one else could love you, you'll accept poor treatment rather than risk losing their attention. If you think you're too difficult for others, you won't seek out the support systems that could help you recognize their manipulation. Here's the reality about senior social connections. Many seniors form their deepest, most authentic friendships later in life. Without the pressures of work and child-rearing, you have the freedom to connect with people who share your actual interests and values. Seniors often report that their friendships become more meaningful with age, because they're based on genuine compatibility rather than convenience. Building new relationships at any age requires courage, but it's absolutely possible. Start small. Join one activity that interests you. Volunteer for a cause you care about. Attend community events. Smile and make eye contact with neighbours. Many lasting friendships begin with simple, consistent interactions. Remember that healthy relationships don't require you to be perfect. Good friends accept your quirks, support you through difficulties, and enjoy your company despite occasional disagreements. If someone truly can't put up with you, they're not the right person for your life anyway. Here are the steps to build your support network. First, identify activities that genuinely interest you. Second, commit to showing up consistently. Relationships build through repeated positive interactions. Third, be open to people who might be different from you. Fourth, remember that quality matters more than quantity. Even one good friend can provide enormous support. Has anyone tried to make you feel like you're too much for others to handle? Share your experience in the comments. You'll be amazed how many people have been told this same lie. Next up is phrase number 6, and this one attacks your financial independence and security. The sixth toxic phrase is a direct attack on your financial independence. You can't afford to live alone. This is financial manipulation disguised as practical concern, and it's often used to pressure seniors into living arrangements that benefit the adult children more than the parent. Here's how this manipulation typically works. Your adult child starts exaggerating your expenses and minimizing your resources. They might say, "Dad, your utilities are too expensive, your house needs too many repairs, and your fixed income can't handle emergencies. You can't afford to live alone anymore." Or they might focus on hypothetical future costs. "Mum, what happens when you need more medical care? You can't afford to live alone when you might need help." Often, there's a hidden agenda behind this concern. Maybe they want you to sell your house so they can inherit the money now, or they want you to move in with them to provide free childcare and household help, or they want you to move somewhere cheaper, so there's more inheritance left for them later. The difference between genuine financial planning and manipulation is crucial. Genuine concern involves sitting down with you to review your actual budget, exploring options that maintain your independence while addressing real financial constraints, and respecting your priorities and preferences. Manipulation involves making sweeping statements about your finances without your input, pressuring you towards solutions that benefit them, and using fear tactics about poverty or homelessness. Here's how to assess your true financial situation independently. First, create a detailed monthly budget that includes all your income sources, social security, pensions, savings, investments, and all your expenses. Be honest but don't catastrophize. Second, research the actual costs of various living arrangements in your area. Third, consider consulting with a financial advisor who works for you, not your family members. Many seniors discover they have more options than their adult children claimed. You might be able to stay in your home with some modifications. You might qualify for assistance programs you didn't know about. You might be able to downsize to a smaller place in your preferred area, rather than moving in with family or into institutional care. There are numerous resources for aging in place. Home modification programs can make your house safer and more accessible. Meal delivery services can help with nutrition. Transportation services can maintain your mobility. Home health aides can provide assistance while letting you stay independent. Many communities offer these services at reduced costs for seniors. Warning signs of financial abuse include family members who insist on controlling your finances for your own good, pressure to sign documents you haven't had time to review, sudden changes to your accounts or legal documents, or being told you can't afford things that you've always been able to afford. The goal isn't to be reckless with money. It's to make informed decisions based on accurate information rather than fear and manipulation. You have the right to spend your money on what matters to you, whether that's staying in your home, traveling, helping grandchildren, or donating to charity. Tools for making informed decisions include getting independent financial advice, researching all your options thoroughly, involving trusted friends or professionals in major decisions, and taking time to think rather than being rushed into choices. Remember that your financial independence represents decades of work and saving. You earned that security, and you deserve to make decisions about how to use it based on your values and preferences, not someone else's agenda. Have you been pressured about your living situation based on exaggerated financial fears? Share your story in the comments. You might help someone else see through this manipulation. Now we're ready for the final phrase, and this one is the most insidious because it sounds like love but comes with devastating strings attached. Here's the final and most insidious toxic phrase: we'll take care of you. But this sounds like love and support on the surface, but those three little letters, but, signal that their care comes with conditions, strings, and control. This is conditional love disguised as family devotion. Let me show you how this manipulation works in practice. Mom, we'll take care of you, but you have to sell your house and give us the money to manage. Or Dad, will help you with your medical needs, but you can't see Dr. Peterson anymore. You have to use our doctor. Or we'll let you live with us, but you can't have friends over, and you need to babysit whenever we ask. The care they're offering always comes with surrendering something important: your money, your choices, your independence, or your relationships. This phrase sets up seniors for systematic manipulation and control because it establishes that their love and support is transactional. They're essentially saying, we'll meet your needs, but only if you meet our conditions. This turns what should be unconditional family love into a business arrangement where you're always at risk of losing their support if you don't comply. Here's a real-world example of how this plays out. An adult child tells their parent, we'll take care of all your finances, but you have to sign over power of attorney and can't make any purchases without our approval. What sounds like helpful money management is actually complete financial control. The senior loses the right to spend their own money on things they enjoy, and they become completely dependent on their children's approval for every financial decision. The difference between healthy family support and toxic conditional assistance is crucial. Healthy support sounds like, we want to help you stay safe and comfortable. Let's work together to find solutions that give you the help you need while maintaining your independence and dignity. Toxic conditional assistance sounds like, we'll help you, but only if you do exactly what we say and give up control over your life. In healthy family dynamics, support is offered freely without strings attached. Family members might have preferences or concerns, but they respect the senior's right to make final decisions about their own life. They work together to find solutions that address everyone's needs while preserving the senior's autonomy and dignity. Warning signs that care comes with manipulation include offers of help that require you to give up control over important areas of your life, support that can be withdrawn if you don't comply with their wishes, help that isolates you from other support systems, assistance that benefits them more than it benefits you, or care that comes with constant reminders of how much you owe them. Here's how to accept help while maintaining dignity and autonomy. First, clearly separate your needs from their desires. You might need help with heavy lifting, but you don't need them to control your social life. Second, maintain some independence in key areas like finances, healthcare decisions, and relationships. Third, have multiple sources of support so you're not completely dependent on one person or family. Fourth, set clear boundaries about what help you welcome and what control you won't surrender. You can say things like, "I appreciate your offer to help, but I need to maintain control over my own decisions." Or, "I'm grateful for your support, but I won't accept help that comes with conditions that compromise my independence." Or, "I'd love your assistance with practical matters, but my personal choices remain my own." Remember that accepting help doesn't mean accepting control. You can be grateful for support while still maintaining your right to make decisions about your own life. True love doesn't come with conditions that strip away your dignity and autonomy. What conditions have been placed on care or support offered to you? Share in the comments. Your experience might help other seniors recognize when help is actually manipulation in disguise. Now you know the 7 toxic phrases that manipulative adult children use to control and diminish their parents. Recognizing these phrases is the first step to protecting yourself and reclaiming your power. You're not too old to understand. Others do not know what's best for you better than you do. Past kindnesses don't obligate your future compliance. Your emotions are always valid. You are absolutely worthy of love and friendship. You have the right to financial independence, and real love never comes with conditions that strip away your dignity. You deserve respect, autonomy, and unconditional love at every age. Your decades of life experience, wisdom, and strength don't become worthless because you've reached your 60s, 70s, or beyond. Healthy relationships, whether with family, friends, or caregivers, involve mutual respect, open communication, and support that enhances your life rather than controlling it. Remember that choosing self-respect over toxic relationships isn't selfish. It's necessary for your mental health and well-being. Setting boundaries with manipulative family members isn't ungrateful. It's healthy. Demanding to be treated with dignity isn't asking too much. It's asking for the bare minimum that every human being deserves. It's never too late to stand up for yourself, seek healthier relationships, and create a life that honors your worth and independence. You have survived decades of challenges, changes, and growth. You have the strength to protect yourself from manipulation and surround yourself with people who truly value and respect you. If this video opened your eyes to manipulation you've been experiencing, please hit that like button and share it with other seniors who need to hear this message. Your sharing could help someone else recognize toxic behavior and protect their dignity. Leave a comment telling us which phrase hit closest to home. You'll be amazed how many others have heard these same hurtful words. Don't forget to subscribe to Life Advice for Older People, because I'm committed to helping seniors recognize their worth and demand the respect they deserve.